Success is not built in a day. It is built day by day. The truth is, what you do every single day matters more than what you do once in a while. People dream big, they make goals, they talk about success, but very few are willing to do the small, consistent things that lead to it. Success is not about luck, it's about habits. So today, I want to share with you one simple truth. Do this daily, and you will succeed. Every morning when you wake up, you have two choices: to repeat yesterday's habits or to start building new ones that will lead you toward your dream. When we talk about success, most people imagine a big breakthrough, a sudden moment that changes everything. But that is not how real success works. The truth is simple, and powerful success is built by consistency. It is not about how much you do once in a while. It is about what you do every single day. Consistency is the foundation of every dream that becomes reality. You see, everyone can work hard for one day. Everyone can be motivated for 1 week. But very few people can keep going for years, even when they don't see immediate results. That is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. Consistency means showing up again and again, even when no one is clapping for you. It means doing the same thing when you are tired, when you are bored, and when no one believes in you. People often underestimate the power of repetition. They think doing small things every day doesn't matter. But if you look at successful people, whether it's athletes, entrepreneurs, or artists, they all built their success on consistency. They trained every day, learned every day, improved every day. They didn't stop because progress was slow. They trusted the process. When I started Alibaba, we had no technology, no money, no experience. But we were consistent. Every single day, we tried to make something a little better. Some days were terrible. We faced rejection, failure, and doubt. But I told my team, why we'll survive one more day. That became our habit, to move forward one small step at a time. After many years, those small steps turned into a giant leap. That's what consistency does. It multiplies your effort and builds momentum. The problem with many people is not that they lack talent. It's that they lack patience. They want success to come fast. They want results without repetition. But the world doesn't reward occasional effort. It rewards consistent effort. Think about a person who goes to the gym once a month. Nothing changes. But if that same person goes every day, even for a short time, in 1 year their body completely transforms. It's not magic, it's consistency. It's the same in business, relationships, or learning. The small daily things you do shape who you become. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you promise yourself you'll do something and actually do it every day, you start believing in your own power. You stop making excuses because you know you can depend on your own discipline. That inner trust is what gives you confidence to take bigger steps. Success starts with keeping small promises to yourself. And consistency is the key that keeps those promises alive. Many young people ask me how to stay motivated. I tell them, you don't need motivation every day. You need a system. Motivation comes and goes like the weather. Some days you feel inspired, other days you don't. But if you have a system, a routine, you will act even when you don't feel like it. That's what successful people do. They don't rely on emotion, they rely on habit. They understand that consistency creates its own motivation. The more you do something, the better you get, and the better you get, the more motivated you feel. Consistency also teaches humility. When you work every day, you realize how long the journey really is. You learn to respect time and effort. You stop expecting shortcuts and start enjoying the process. Success becomes less about the destination and more about growth. You begin to see value in the struggle because you know that every day you show up, you are becoming stronger, smarter, and more prepared for your opportunity. You must also understand that consistency doesn't mean perfection. Some days you will fail. Some days you will not perform well. But that's fine. What matters is that you show up again tomorrow. One bad day doesn't destroy success, but quitting does. When you are consistent, even failure becomes a teacher. You learn what doesn't work, and you adjust your path. Over time, those small corrections make you unstoppable. If you truly want to succeed, don't look for big actions. Look for small actions you can do daily. Set a goal to improve 1% every day. Read a little, learn a little, work a little harder. After 1 year, that 1% becomes huge. That's how success is built. Not by luck, not by one big event, but by thousands of small, consistent steps. So if you are wondering what separates winners from dreamers, remember this. Everyone starts small, but only the consistent ones finish strong. The ones who keep showing up, even when it's hard, are the ones who eventually stand on top. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is powerful. It is quiet, but it moves mountains. It is the invisible force behind every visible success. Small daily efforts are the secret fuel behind every great success story. Many people believe success comes from one big breakthrough, one lucky moment, or one powerful decision. But that's not true. Real success is built slowly, step by step, through the small things you do every single day. It's not about huge leaps. It's about small, consistent steps. You see, every big building begins with one brick, and every long journey begins with one step. The same rule applies to life. What you do daily might look small, even meaningless, but over time, it changes everything. When you make small efforts every day, you build a foundation of discipline and growth. You may not see results immediately, and that's why most people stop. They think, what's the point? But the point is, small efforts accumulate. They compound. It's like planting seeds. You don't see the tree right away, but if you water it daily, one day it grows strong. The same happens with your dreams. Every book you read, every hour you practice, every failure you learn from adds up. Those small moments of effort are silently building your future. People fail not because they can't achieve something big, but because they ignore the small things. They underestimate their power. Think about a mountain. It looks unmovable, but it's made of small stones. Think about the ocean. It's made of tiny drops of water. Everything great in this world is built from something small. The same is true for success. If you dedicate yourself to improving just one thing daily, after 1 year, you will be far ahead of where you started. The challenge is not in doing big things. It's in doing small things consistently without losing focus or patience. When I started Alibaba, our team was small and our dreams were huge. We didn't have big resources or powerful investors, but we had one thing, the willingness to take small steps daily. Every day we improved a little, we learned a little, we tried new things. Sometimes we failed, sometimes we succeeded, but we never stopped moving. Those small improvements didn't seem special at the time, but when we looked back years later, we realized that those small efforts had built something powerful. That's the power of daily effort. It looks invisible in the moment, but it becomes unstoppable in time. Small daily efforts also create habits, and habits shape destiny. When you repeat something long enough, it becomes natural, effortless. It becomes part of you, whether it's waking up early, reading for 20 minutes, or writing down your goals. These small habits program your mind for success. Over time, you stop forcing yourself to do them. They become who you are. Successful people are not lucky. They are consistent with their small actions. They focus on the process, not the result, because they know that the process is what builds the result. There is another truth about small daily efforts. They build confidence. When you accomplish something, no matter how small, you feel proud. That pride pushes you to do a little more tomorrow. Every small success strengthens your belief that you can achieve bigger things. Confidence doesn't come from big victories. It comes from small wins repeated over time. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you tell your mind, I can do this. And that belief becomes your power. Sometimes life feels too hard, and your dreams feel too far. You might look at others who seem to be doing better and feel discouraged. But don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. They also started small. Every successful person was once a beginner. The difference is that they didn't give up. They kept doing the small things even when no one believed in them. If you can learn to love the small steps, success will come naturally. Small daily efforts also protect you from burnout. When you focus only on big goals, you get tired and overwhelmed. But when you break those goals into small, daily actions, they become manageable. You stay consistent because you can see progress every day. It's like climbing a mountain. If you look only at the top, it feels impossible. But if you focus on taking one small step after another, you will eventually reach the top without even realizing how far you've come. Another benefit of small daily efforts is that they build resilience. When you fail, small efforts help you bounce back faster. You learn from mistakes and keep moving. Every small step is a chance to correct your direction. Success is not a straight road. It's full of turns and obstacles. Small daily actions help you adjust, adapt, and keep going no matter what. The truth is, greatness is not built overnight. It is built quietly in the small things you do when no one is watching. Success is not one big explosion of achievement. It's a slow, steady fire that grows brighter each day you add effort. If you want to change your life, don't wait for a big opportunity. Start with something small today. One small effort may not seem like much, but when you add them up day after day, they become the most powerful force in your journey to success. Discipline is the true engine of success. People often talk about motivation as if it's some kind of magic energy that will push them to do great things. But motivation is like the weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy, sometimes gone completely. Discipline is different. Discipline doesn't depend on how you feel. It depends on what you decide. It's the ability to do what needs to be done even when you don't want to do it. That is what separates successful people from everyone else. Motivation can get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going when the excitement fades. When you are motivated, everything feels easy. You wake up early, you work hard, you feel inspired. But what happens when motivation disappears? Most people stop. They wait to feel inspired again, but days turn into weeks and they lose momentum. The truth is, if you depend on motivation, you'll never be consistent because feelings change. Discipline means showing up regardless of how you feel. It's doing your work when you're tired, practicing when you're bored, studying when you're distracted. It's not about emotion, it's about commitment. Discipline is the muscle that keeps success alive. Many people admire the success of others, but ignore the discipline behind it. A musician practices every day, even when he doesn't feel creative. An athlete trains even when his body hurts. An entrepreneur works late nights even when business is slow. That's not motivation, that's discipline. Successful people understand that discipline is the bridge between goals and results. They don't rely on moods. They rely on systems, habits, and routines that keep them moving forward even when the road gets hard. When I was building Alibaba, there were many days when I didn't feel like working. I was tired, stressed, and uncertain about the future. But I knew if I stopped, the dream would die. So I told myself, just one more day. Just keep going. That's discipline. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. Every day you push yourself to take action, even a small one. You're strengthening your discipline, and that strength builds success over time. Discipline is not punishment. It's power. It gives you control over your life. When you are disciplined, you are not controlled by laziness, excuses, or fear. You make choices that align with your goals, not your moods. Most people lose control of their lives because they listen to their feelings too much. They say, I don't feel like it today. And that one sentence becomes the reason they never achieve their dreams. Discipline teaches you to act not because you feel like it. but because it's the right thing to do. The best thing about discipline is that it grows stronger the more you use it.